against someone like Villa, that's what I kind of want.
I know you've got an issue with Bruno, but he has been.
No, but that's why I give him credit. I think he's been
sensational this year.
I just don't like it when Eriksen and Bruno play together more time. The time against a bigger team. Yes,
I get that, but those are the guys that have been in the teams where we've had our best performances in years. So for me, I think we nitpick too much. So I don't have the quotes to hand, but I was reading something that Kevin De Bruyne spoke about today, or in the last few days. It was all over Twitter today, where he's been saying that he does some stats he doesn't take seriously. And he said, like, no footballer takes pass completion stats seriously. And his view was, because the reason my pass completion stats are in the low 80s, high 70s is because I'm trying things. And he said, I'd rather attempt that hard pass 5 times and on the 6th attempt, it creates a goal than try it once and then bottle it for the rest of the game. And ironically, we speak about the Bruno comments around Garnacho. And everyone's angry that he mentioned bad attitude. Well,
that's stupid.
Well, the manager already said it a week before. But if you actually listen to the full interviews, they weren't talking about bad attitude, drinking and going out with girls and not turning up to training. They were talking about in training and in games, he'd try and dribble past someone, it wouldn't work. So we'd stop and take the easy route. That's what they meant by bad attitude. He wasn't, and Ten Hag said not resilient enough. And what I love about Bruno is so resilient. Yeah, he moans, and yes, he cries, and yes, he annoys people, but he will attempt that through ball 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times on the bounce. And in the end, he creates the chances. That's why he is equal on big chances created and general chances created in the Premier League in the last 3 years with KDB. They are the same. KDB is just better than him. But Bruno Fernandes, he ain't a bad second place. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's pretty damn good.
Yeah, but with Bruno, for me as well, it's like, it's not I'm going to get onto it because I like his work rate things as well. But one thing that Villa and Unai Emery, the way he plays and counter-attacks, it might be a bit of blessing in disguise. What I'm going to say as well, like, I'm not getting onto it because I actually said, like, I do like what he's doing at the moment. He's a bit more refined. I ain't seen that Bruno ever. So for us, I like his work rate. I do like what he's doing. He's given up a lot for the team, even just going out on the right wing. Do you know what I mean? He's doing a job. But at the same time, I feel like putting in a thread in there can nullify their counter a little bit better in the away game, because it did happen against Chelsea in the end. We had to bring on Fred because they brought on Kovacic. So for me, and it actually gives him a chance to rest. Just that's like Anthony didn't play last week. We won it against West Ham, luckily, but now he can have a rest. Lindelof had a bit of a rest. Look, Sancho, I get he was ill. A little bit of a rest, even though he's resting on the bench regardless. But it's just the point is that we still got a load of games to go.
I think though, the question about Ronaldo, I wouldn't personally start him. I would, if Anthony's fit. Has he been declared fit?
I'm not too sure, but I believe he's playing.
I don't watch press conferences. I don't know all these Man United fans that say they've cancelled like MUT. They don't know anything about the club. The only way you know this stuff is by watching the press conference and going on the website. So I'm always behind on United news. But the point I'm making, sorry.
The United report, boy, that Twitter account, they got you.
But you don't ever get the full detail. Like, quotes are fine, but you have to go in. It's a bit like the Bruno comments. Unless you actually go and watch what he said, you realize there was no malice in it. You read 2 lines, it means something else. But I would go with Anthony on the right if he's fit. I would go Rashford in the middle, and I would give him a start after his performance last night, and I would start Garnacho on the left hand side. I think he deserves it. He was brilliant in both those Europa League games, and it sends a message to the youngsters. And as good as Ronaldo may have been in that first half, when he's on that pitch, he takes away so much speed from our attack. And there's times where there's an opening to break, and I love Ronaldo, but he's just not it anymore. He can't break into those spaces. I think we should use him against teams that, and maybe they will sit back and maybe they'll be a complete low block the whole game and we have to try and break them down and Ronaldo can come on late in the match. But I just feel sometimes his hips. You ever seen the music video of Robbie dancing when Partey signed? That's Ronaldo trying to turn. That's Ronaldo now, and it slows us down so much. It really, really does.
A quick one, Terry.
Go on, bro.
On Garnacho, what's the situation? Garnacho, yeah? Yeah. Cool. What's the situation with Sancho now?
I hold the bench, mate.
Considering obviously Martial's coming back, Rashford now is apparently the best thing since sliced bread. Now you got Garnacho. Is that what's going on? What's happening with Sancho? Is that it for him?
You think you're smart with
Sancho? It's called healthy competition that matches.
Yeah, but do you think he can actually live up to that competition? That's what I'm saying. I don't
know if he can, but equally, as long as the likes of Alessandro and Martial come back in and move the envelope and make us better. People keep asking me how I feel about Sancho maybe being phased out. If Man United become a better team, I couldn't I don't care. I'm just like
It's real.
I've been
It's
saying
real.
this to Gooners
That's
for the
what
past
we
couple of
hear.
weeks in all my who's scared of Arsenal today videos. I've been saying to all of them, like, why are you all crying that maybe Eddie and Nketiah might not be good enough? Like, you lot should just be celebrating that you're back. Like, for me, it's caring about players is what failing clubs do.
Yeah.
Like, when Man United sold David Beckham, he was my idol as a kid, but he left, and I was like, oh, that's sad. Who's coming in to replace him? And it was gone out of my mind within seconds. When Yap Stan was moved on, Roy Keane was moved on, when Ronaldo left in 2009, I didn't care. I didn't really care because I cared about my club. The only time I started caring about players, and I felt myself do it, was when all I had was the hope that Rashford, who came through the academy, was going to be a star. That was literally the peak of being a Man United fan. And Arsenal and Man United fans were the worst. My star boy versus your star boy. It is so pathetic when you actually break it down. Support your club, not players, people. Obviously, within it, you support your players, but they're never more important than your club. So I get your point. I don't think he'll step up to it, though. I
reckon so. I just don't think he will on the left-hand side. I'll be honest. It's going to have to be out of him and Anthony. I think Sancho is better on the right-hand side where the game's a little bit more simple for him. And also, I feel like Sancho needs a type of player near him. Like, you know, like he likes to pass and go. You're not going to get that Ronaldo. You're not going to get that Rashford. You're going to get that Marcel, though. But
do you think he's got the pace, though, to play out wide?
I think
if you look at wingers now in the Premier League or just in world football, a lot of them are explosive.
Well, Kulusevski's not.
But Kulusevski's got strides though. Like he's compare Sancho. Sancho is much shorter than him.
Sancho has got zero pace.
It's acceleration as well.
He has nothing.
He might actually be better in a central role.
That's what I
say. That under 10 Hag?
No,
I've been saying this for ages. He looks like, for me, look at where all his goals are in the middle of the park, especially against your team. If you remember that one in the 10. I think that's where Sancho can lie. If you look at it, he always looks left, always looks right. He can do that kind of thing. But how are you going to turn a player that's been playing wing for most of his life?
I agree. Sancho, though, has no athleticism about himself whatsoever. And, you know, sentiment kills in football. And as much as I wanted him to be this 70, 80 million pound star that would come in, would take over the right-hand side, he's not getting that right-hand side back unless Anthony flops. And I don't think he's going to. I think he started well, and he was, up until that little injury, he was improving game by game. He's obviously Ten Hag's guy. Garnacho's coming in, and it looks hungry for it, and he's got speed, athleticism.
It's nice to look at.
Rashford's doing what he's doing. I honestly think that Sancho, with the way it looks right now, I feel like he'll be phased out. I think I think by the end of this season, he'll be done at Man United.
Right. Can I ask a question?
There's still time.
Can I ask a question then?
See, you guys saying you believe. You remind me of Donny van der Beek fanboys.
No, I'm ready to move on from that. I was on that bandwagon, Terry. I'm not joking. Look, I get it. He's only had a couple games, couple minutes. I'm kind of eager to see how he goes from there. But in the pace of the Premier League and everything, I think the Donny van der Beek ship is kind of sailed for me. I'll be honest. There's better centre mids out there that we definitely do need. That we need to.
Do you know what's funny, right? With San, I get your point on Donny, and my view on Donny van der Beek is really simple. Really simple. People generally don't rate Donny van der Beek. They hate Bruno Fernandes, and Donny van der Beek is like a pawn in their agenda against him. On Sancho, though, Sancho had a good start to the season, and I was talking about maybe he should be back in the England squad, but I expected him from that point till now to go to another level, and I'm talking Dortmund level. He hasn't done that. I feel like I've seen more in a couple of games from Garnacho and Anthony from his debut till now combined than I've seen in Sancho in 2 years. And if they can walk into a team and instantly go, oh, and you know, with Garnacho is a great example, there's an excitement when he touches the ball. There's an excitement when Anthony touches the ball. Even when Rashford gets it, you think, what's he going to do? With Sancho, it's like, we know what he's going to do. He's going to look like he's going to go left, then he's going to go right, and then he ain't going to beat his man. He's going to pass it back. And then every now and then he takes somebody on. He doesn't do it regularly enough for me. And I think it's because he doesn't have the physicality to beat a man. And that's a problem in the Premier League. Go back to the Bundesliga, go and play in Italy, go and play in the slightly slower pace leagues, and I think he will rip it up. Premier League, he's a marshmallow. He's not going to be able to do it.
Him, man. He's from South London. I need to support the boy. It is
well, I'm from north of the river, bro, where the proper man are at.
We're not gonna do postcode wars.
There's a reason why 80% of the tube stations are north of the river, bruv.
And there's a reason why we got better links down in South.
Better links.
Yeah, we do. Anyway, I want to get a bus and I don't have to wait 10 minutes or 50 minutes just to go from Enfield, which
No, do you know what it
age
is, bro?
to get
Because
to.
north of the river, we don't need that. We've got cars.
Clearly, you're going to be stuck in Peckham.
I'm only joking. I'm from the East End. It's pretty deprived. But it used to be. Now it's gentrified, and none of us can afford to live there anymore. But anyway, that's another conversation for another day.